Let's talk about first touchdown score. I will tell you that for whatever reason, this market, which is my favorite little prop market to dabble in, hit Josh Allen on Sunday Night Football, no big deal. Is shrunk, and for this particular game, I'm not sure that I would dabble in it aggressively, because if you'll scroll down, Devo, you can see Devo scrolling. The lovely Devo scrolling for us here on YouTube, youtube.com/pick6. It is obscenely priced. Oh, I'll stop right there. It is obscenely priced in terms of the Ravens up top. I mean, it's kind of a joke, honestly. These numbers it's kind of a joke in terms of these numbers. Jonathan Taylor plus 625. I get it. He's a running back for the Colts, but I mean, almost like 5-1. Latavius Murray 6.5-1. Lamar Jackson 6.5-1. Mark Andrews 7.5-1. I get all those. Hollywood Brown is sub 10-1. Are you kidding me? Sammy Watkins 11-1. You want me to bet on Sammy Watkins as the first touchdown scorer in a random ass Week 5 NFL game at 11-1? You got to be Zach Pascal. I would bet that 2/3 of the people in your life, Sully, don't know who Zach Pascal is, and he's 15-1. What are we doing? That is ridiculous. Zach Pascal should be 25-1 men.
Yeah, it's really it's a tough pricing. Again, if I have to go with a Raven, I probably would still, again, if I'm just plainly saying who do I think might score the first touchdown, not looking at value, I think I would still go with Marquise Brown there, just because we've seen this year he's basically almost a touchdown a game type of guy. Lamar Jackson does look to rip it early again with him. He's shown that game breaking ability. So to me, I do like that in just a general sense. The value isn't great. I don't like it from that standpoint. But if I'm talking about who I think has a good chance to get into the end zone, Brown has showed me this season, and really not even this season. If you go back to the tail end of last season too, this is something that's been building a while for him. He's been getting into the end zone. So again, that's somebody who I would like just from that standpoint.
I like the idea of Marquise Brown scoring that first touchdown. I think it's a perfectly reasonable situation.
It's just the price point.
It's just 8.5-1 is a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, he's actually having a pretty good season, but I mean, he has 19 catches on the year.
Yeah.
And that's less than 5 per game. And you're banking on him. You're banking on a deep ball, and he could have more. Look, he's an explosive player. They love taking deep shots to him. It certainly makes sense as going up top. Let's send a message. Let's get this lead. Let's lean on the Colts. 8.5-1. I can't take that. The only first touchdown scores that I would be willing to take in this game are Colts. And that's because, again, the Ravens are 7-point favorites. There's the assumption that someone from the Ravens will score first. I would actually look at Lamar Jackson at 7-1 just because he's gets the ball. They use him in the red zone in the same way a rushing quarterback in prime time. These things hit a lot. You're talking about a guy that they use in the red zone with running the football. I don't hate that, I suppose, but if I'm betting on these, I would look at Nyheim Hines at 18-1. Maybe it's a couple of field goals early, dump off to Hines. Frank Reich loves utilizing him out of the backfield in the red zone, and he is very dangerous on the edges, getting to the pylon. Zach, I can't do Zach Pascal 15-1. Mo Alley Cox 28-1.
Okay,
is kind of intriguing. Former basketball player. Not sure if you knew that.
He caught a touchdown last week, I believe, too.
Yes, he did. I believe he had the first touchdown of the game actually against the Dolphins. And then Carson Wentz at 28-1.
That's who I like. That's who I think is someone that again makes a lot of sense. We've been talking about his rushing capabilities on this pod already, but again. Healthy, someone who wants to run the football, utilize his legs a little bit. To me, that is a good value for somebody like that. You can totally see him getting into the end zone at some point. Again, we've gone over it, but fully healthy. Clearly, we saw earlier in the season, not even just from his days in Philadelphia, but in his time as an Indianapolis Colt, he's running for 20, 30 yards a game when he's healthy. To me, if they get somewhere in the red zone and all of a sudden things, if you do a little RPO or something along those lines, you fake everybody out thinking you're going Jonathan Taylor, you roll out right or roll out left. There you go. You waltz into the end zone. That's one that I could envision seeing happening.
All right, Carson Wentz. As much as we love making fun of him on the podcast, no one loves putting their body at risk more than Carson Wentz. and to prove that he's willing to play with 2 bad ankles on the second team after anyway. Yeah, Carson Wentz, and he jumped to 29-1. Ooh.
There we go. All right. Even better for us.
They were square.